What'd you say?
Hurt my ears the
Well, I like that. I'm sweating my ass. I mean, my ear hole.
Ma'am, Miss Ma'am. Ma'am, we'd like to record now. Miss Ma'am, we'd like to record. These headphones is cold, but the podcast is hot, baby. The Convo King's in the studio. We talking, we up, we going. What's happening?
We're back.
Yeah.
In a $2 pistol.
That's right.
Oh, Lord.
That's right.
George Jones.
And guess
Mr.
what?
Jones.
They forgot to turn his phone off again.
Uh-oh.
If you had an iPhone, you'd have a switch on the side of it. It wouldn't have to go up in there and all that.
Android, you just slide the top down and press the touch screen.
Or I just go click.
Manual buttons are old school. We new school. That's right. That's right. So what's happening in the wild world of everything? Like, what is life in general?
Chaotic.
It's a chaos show.
Yeah.
They're right.
Y'all pardon my snotty nose today. And the pollen.
Oh, God.
Man.
It's terrible in North Carolina.
Oh, it's terrible.
My truck is no longer the color that it's supposed to be.
If anybody doesn't live in North Carolina or never visited North Carolina, this time of year is it's interesting. You got
Don't be afraid when you see yellow clouds coming out of trees.
Yes.
Literally clouds.
it's cold. You got winter,
Yep.
and then you got winter
Summer.
is breakfast.
Yes.
Then you have spring by lunch.
Mm-hmm.
By dinner time, you ready to strip.
Summer, yep.
Yep.
It's come around every time.
So my brother-in-law got married yesterday, and I'm outside. We talking about pollen. I had the 10 by 10 out, pop up. I'm cooking out there, and just like you're saying, got out there about 12 o'clock. It was nice. Well, about 4 o'clock come around, I was sweating. I was sweating.
Well, Miss Joy had a little bit of a hiccup yesterday.
Uh-oh.
We went to the...
We got hiccups?
Festival. No, it was worse than that. So she wore like a tank top,
Uh-huh.
and we got ready to leave, and she's like, I'm burnt.
Ooh,
She is like, she got toasted right
blistered. Woo.
Yep. Then,
Ouch.
Oh, yeah.
It felt, that's what I was saying. You got all these weather, and then all of a sudden, wham!
Oh, yeah.
Look at me. I've been outside all day, and I'm burnt like a damn... I look like a damn tomato.
Yeah, you do look like a tomato.
Yeah, because the Home Depot stuck my ass out in the parking lot from 9:30 to 3 today and didn't give me no damn break. Sorry. I love y'all, but it's okay.
But now talking about being out there, and we went back today and broke down the canopy. Dude, when we broke it down, you drop the legs and then pop the top. You pushed it together, and it was this pollen cloud.
Pop
Come
a
out of
top
top.
again.
Oh,
Mm.
It's been eating me alive, though. Sneezing, hacking, and gagging everywhere.
I've been watching clouds. Like, let's look like you can see the haze. Like, it blows out like the pine trees and stuff.
Yeah, I hope so.
Some rain come through.
Oh, they're calling for hail and stuff tomorrow.
I'm waiting for this burn ban we've got going on right now in the whole state of North Carolina.
That wasn't going where we were at yesterday, boy. They were burnt. Yeah.
No, did you now?
That's one thing, guys. We were riding through I told Joe, I said, how many times you take these long trips and you ride by all these people's houses in the country? I've never seen nobody outside.
Uh-uh.
And it's just like, they are out there sometimes. And I was like, no, they ain't. About 10 seconds later, start seeing people out.
Oh, gosh.
That's some Matrix type.
Uh-huh.
I brought it to the forefront. Oh, we got to start adding people.
Got to start adding people back. They're starting to notice, guys. Y'all get out of your houses.
It's just weird, but yeah, because we've been on trips that we've spent considerable amount of time in the country riding, and I'm like, you ride by these houses, I'm like, they got these nice houses with horses and all this stuff, and there ain't nobody outside enjoying it.
You never noticed nobody outside.
It's
I see it all the time.
down in my area, unless it's cutting grass.
That's what I'm saying. It's cutting grass.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just like people outside enjoying themselves.
Every time I see them, they working.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless you live in my neighborhood, then you see people chilling all the time. But
We talking like out in the country where we at, and like I can side with David. Like you ride down through like from our house to my mother-in-law and father-in-law's house, unless it's somebody cutting grass, there ain't nobody out playing in the yard. It's like
scary
kids,
world now.
that we're gonna get into this on this episode of the podcast too. But like when David and I were kids, we ain't that far apart in age.
No.
Man, you got run out of the house during the summertime in the morning, and when you come back, they was throwing like, here's a bag of chips and a Capri Sun or a Kool-Aid, and don't you come back till summertime. Stay out of the house. Now, I mean, you don't see kids out playing in the yard, playing football.
No.
Now you see him out shooting now.
Well, I mean, no, I'm just talking about kids don't, it's not like kids are kids, not like what we were when we were kids. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of electronics, a lot of gaming.
Yep.
I mean, the computer age is,
It's amongst us.
it's
I never
amongst us,
fell for it.
and it's evolving again with what we talked about a couple months back with AI. I mean, I've started using it. It's not that bad a thing. But talking about things, differences between what was and what is now. So, Daniel, I know you closed on your house.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica and I and the kids, we got moved in our house this past week.
I could have. I just didn't.
Yeah. I busted my ass this week moving stuff here and there.
Yeah.
I'm renting a U-Haul tomorrow.
We're moved
afternoon.
in, but we're not unpacked. So, Daniel, you buying furniture?
No, I'm actually throwing away furniture.
You throwing away? I did too. I did too.
I've got a 30-yard dumpster almost full right now.
Yeah. So, what I saw back when, we've never had new furniture.
No, I
But-
ain't
To put furniture in a house, you're talking $3,000, and this is just basic stuff. Couch.
either. Say this ain't
recliner.
that ain't no name brand either much.
Mm-mm.
No.
No. But just, I mean, the way things has changed and what it's costing to live now versus what it was, what, Dave? 25 years ago?
Yeah, like in the 90s. Me and Joy always say the 90s.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to believe that the 90s was 30 years ago.
There's one thing you got to look at, though. You also got to look at how much people got paid then versus now.
Yeah.
It kind of almost equals out when it's on.
I had to do a little bit more homework on that, Bubba.
I don't think it equals that
Yeah.
at all.
So let me go down just a little rabbit hole for that now.
I've lived in 3 different eras.
Yeah. Back when when men were men back in the 40s and the 50s, you look at dues for like fraternities. Me being a part of the Masonic fraternity, my dues in that are $180 a year. That's just to be a paying member, not doing nothing. If you calculate that back to what was back in the 40s and 50s, you had to be making a decent living to be able to petition a Masonic Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it took a good bit of what a man made just to be a part of something bigger than what he was. That's why they respected it so much. You went to your meetings in a coat and tie. All your special events were done in a 3-piece suit. But, I mean, just talking about stuff today. I mean, when's the last time that you went out yourself and then with a group of people just to see what it takes to buy a meal? I mean, I'm about to starve right now. If that boy hungry, I was going to stop on the way up here and just get like a large order of fries and a drink from McDonald's.
$8.
That's
Fuck that.
yeah.
I
got 2 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits out of water this morning, and it was $9 and some change.
So I went the other day. So I was on some new medicine.
Mm-hmm.
My stomach hadn't been agreeing with me.
Right.
No, not necessarily. I hadn't thrown up.
Not throwing
But
up?
It feels like I'm.
Yeah.
And the other day I felt a little bit better, so I was like, I'm gonna go grab me some seasoned fries from Bojangles
Right.
and a tea. $10.15.
Ooh. Gosh.
Now, you know what's crazy, though? One thing I have noticed, and if you watch this over the last several years, all these restaurants are jacking their prices at McDonald's, Burger King, all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to know the one that hasn't changed much at all in their pricing? And everybody thought they were crazy back when about 10 years ago?
Who's that?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A?
Their pricing is very, very little went up. It is mostly...
Yeah.
I'm saying back then everybody was all like, "Oh my God, you're gonna pay? That's premium food. You're paying a shitload of money."
Yeah.
It's funny now. Everybody's now they're probably laughing.
They didn't have to raise their prices because
Yeah.
their price point was already high.
Yeah. Then David does have a point. I mean, back 10, 15 years ago, Chick-fil-A was an expensive meal, but
Now it's normal.
It was the elite.
Yeah, now it's normal.
You can kind of consider, like I've always held Chick-fil-A and Arby's. They're kind of like the elite of the fast food world.
I'd have to argue with you on Arby's a little bit, but
Yeah. But I mean,
Back in the day, Arby's was
Yeah.
oh, I know. But I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
Joe.
I mean, roast beef sandwich. I mean, you go in there, you can get one of the French dip sandwiches, something like that. And they were always a little bit more pricier.
Yep.
But you go,
Same with Five Guys,
yeah, I can count.
but their prices are still the same.
Yeah, I can count 2 times that I've ever ate at Five Guys and I wasn't impressed.
Well, I don't know.
You and me, we love that place.
Miss Joy likes it too. Well, I like Five Guys.
Okay, I had to try it up here because the one in
The one
Monroe-
right here is actually better than one of the better ones I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my God, dinner time's coming along.
But Dave,
I'm hungry.
you and Miss Joy, just because it's just y'all two in the house.
Yeah.
What's your grocery bill looking like?
Up to $300.
Yeah,
Just depending on what.
is that a month?
No,
Shit,
that's a week.
That's a week.
mine's about $200 a month for one person.
Because we also cook.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm saying we don't. Yeah. And then we meal prep
Mm-hmm.
for our meals during the week, and
Mine's pushing about $200 a week.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's gonna be about 300.
So
I could only
I
imagine
budget for
how much-
$800 a month. So.
Yeah. We've got a family of 7. It's me, Jessica, our 4 kids, and my granddaughter.
Mhm.
And a order at Sam's was like, I'm talking 2-3 boxes of stuff, almost $400.
I've been shopping at Sam's Club most of the time.
Yeah.
I go ahead and buy it in bulk, and I have it for months.
We don't. We typically just go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Probably why it's a little bit higher.
I spend more money up front. I'll buy 15 pack of mac and cheese, and then I'll have it for the next 6
Well,
months whenever I want to eat mac and cheese.
Who we are. I may buy something, and I may not like it for 6 months.
Right, right.
So I don't
No.
want to be held in
Mm-hmm.
to that.
We used to do Sam just to like.
I've been eating the same shit for 15 years.
Right.
To
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember going with y'all a couple times over there
Get iguana.
to the Asian market. And I mean, I wish I would have paid more attention to what their prices were.
It was cheaper.
It was cheap.
What's that butcher shop you used to go to?
If I go there and
Which one?
The one where you can buy like exotic shit, like iguana. And...
get,
Yeah.
blast. I mean, for us to,
Mm-hmm. Right.
you know, and I'm $4
Mm-hmm.
just for that one papaya.
Now, if I can say that, I don't think that they haven't, like, I don't know. It's weird. They're not in the same ballgame.
That's what I was going to say. It's almost like they don't have to do their price hikes.
Because they have so many people.
Yes, because they've got so many people coming out there.
You can still get limes there for $4.
Yeah.
4 for $1.
69 cents for one.
Yeah, yeah. A bag of limes at Food Lion is going to cost you $5, and there's
Yeah.
maybe 7, 8 limes in there.
I think that's the thing too. Is me and Joy talked about this several times. You could literally buy a bunch of stuff
Mm-hmm.
with a minimum budget, but you're gonna have to go to different places.
Yeah, yeah. And
Like
these
I bet
times,
if you go to Simpson's Eggs in Monroe, you're not gonna pay $5 a carton.
one bad part about it, that's what I was just fixing to say. The times of that is like times are evolving.
Yeah.
Simpsons won't even let you come in and buy eggs now.
Oh God! Now
Yeah.
my life's over.
Yeah. Like I remember used to go,
Me and
They-
Joy went.
yeah, they'd have them sitting out there on the table. Yep.
How much? Give me $5.
Yeah.
And that was for like the box.
Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So
the
you
whole-
used to could go there and get 30 I think it was a 30 dozen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's a bunch of eggs.
Everybody said 30 eggs, and you said
Yeah.
30 dozen. That's why I
Yeah,
went in my mind.
30 dozen.
It was a bunch.
And it was less than $30.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
hell you gonna do 30 dozen eggs?
It's like if
Yeah,
you're
I'm
having
talking
like
about
a
for-
party.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you're gonna make like you're cooking like what the food truck stuff.
well, so it's gonna be one hell of an Easter.
Oh yeah. I mean, we used to do that
But
too.
that's the thing, though. I think those days are over.
There are.
You're not gonna go out there and put real eggs out there for kids to hunt.
Mm-mm.
Those days are over.
Yeah,
It's like-
people aren't
I
doing
don't
that.
think we ever even did real eggs.
I was in the store with Joy, Target, and she went to go grab me some medicine, and I just kind of glanced, and the adult toys are stacked up
Oh yes.
on the floor.
On the
They're
floor.
full, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't normally like it's like one or two,
Mm-mm.
like that. And I looked at Joy and I said, "Well, I guess you got a choice. You got two different kinds of internal pleasure. You got to feel either your fun one or hunger.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's going with the hunger,
Yep.
you know. So now all your other stuff is just packing up.
We used to joke about it a lot, but me and my oldest daughter, we go in the grocery store more often than not. We'll see stuff laying like
Decisions
oddly
were
placed.
made.
Yes, that's exactly what I was fixing to say. Like you go over to the cold food section, and there lays a Barbie doll.
See, I think I see things like that now because I work in retail now, so I
Yeah.
see some weird things
Mm-hmm.
in some weird places.
Yeah, like there lays a toy in the food section. Like, baby, we had to put that back to be able to get food.
That's so.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
So I guess my thing is, guys, and I pose this question to y'all: is why?
Greed,
That's where I was going with it.
Where does that greed start?
corporate,
I'm not really gonna say
The
corporate
government.
America.
the government.
I think it's getting harder on your people producing the food because they're making rule changes and they're saying you can do this and you can't do that, and it's costing more to have the equipment serviced and buy equipment now, to where used to Uncle John go out and get on a tractor and he was out there 12, 14 hours a day and he'd work 2 fields. Now, you go turn the combine on when it's ready to cut corn and
It drives itself.
it drives itself
GPS.
because you've GPS 4 corners of a field and now you can cut 4 fields in one day because you're not driving it anymore.
The cost of that combine
Yes. What used to be,
handed down.
Which be 100 grand is now 100,000 grand.
I mean, yeah, I mean, what used to be an affordable tractor that lasted 20 years, like I've still got my grandfather's tractor, stuff's not lasting anymore.
Mm-mm.
And they're having to make up that revenue.
Hmm.
And that revenue gets pushed off on this. The price of this goes up. When the price of that goes up, well, we're going to charge you more for your seed.
Yep.
We're going to charge you more for your chemicals that you have to put on it to fertilize the land to make it grow.
Oh.
And now we're going to only tell you that you can farm during these times.
Mm-hmm.
You have to swap from field to field to field. It's a lot of things that people take for granted. And when you push, they have to push back.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got a little man riding around here on a damn bicycle or something.
We do.
But
We'll come
that's
up with
my
a tricycle.
opinion. That and greed, I think, is where it's coming from.
Greed is a big one.
Yeah.
I believe greed's there.
You've got something that I want,
Mhm.
and I've got to do something under the table to be able to afford it,
Mhm.
or I'm gonna steal it from you.
Now.
Oh yeah, that's one thing they did for like with McDonald's and stuff. They did a big study recently. I was watching it,
Mm-hmm.
and they called them out, and things started changing because they were like, how can places like Chili's manage to provide you a higher quality meal, full course with a drink and everything for $10, and you can't even do that at McDonald's?
Mhm.
And then they started digging into it, and it came down to McDonald's said we're going to price hike it because people are going to pay it regardless for our product, and other restaurants. But I'm just using that as an example.
Right, right.
And so they started calling them out on it, and within a month of that documentary I watched, they started releasing that 2 for $5 and all that stuff within a month of that,
I mean, because you talk to a lot
because
of
their
people
sales were actually going.
in
Yeah.
today's times. Daniel, your generation and younger, to our grandparents, you say Big Mac, and everybody knows that's a McDonald's product.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you said, they gonna put it out there, no matter how much it costs. Somebody gonna buy it.
But at the same time, why would I want to pay $10 for a Big Mac that I have to wait 20 minutes for anyways now?
Mhm.
When I can go sit down and I can place an order and go sit down at Chili's and get their version of the Big Mac, called the Stacker or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's twice it's never frozen, it's twice the quality,
Yep.
twice the size, and you still waited maybe 20 or 30 minutes to get it.
I guess it also depended on the chilies too, right? Because there's some chilies.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Most of them are starting to get better.
Yeah.
They've been doing a lot
will
of
say
restructure.
The one in Monroe, it's quite nice.
No, I've not.
The worst part's always the servicing. It's not necessarily. I've never had a problem with the food.
Now that he says that is something that's going down.
I've always had a problem with the service, not the food.
A lot of places, like I noticed a lot of the places we've been here lately as a group, you don't get anybody that comes to your table anymore.
Because they ain't paying them with the shit.
Yeah, you have to go to the bar.
My sister used to be one of them.
You ask for what you want, and then they may bring it out to the table. Some places don't even bring it out to the table. They call your name, you come out and get it.
Mm-hmm.
Some places, yeah.
Mhm.
Five Guys.
Five Guys, City Barbecue.
Yeah.
They don't come out. Not unless you have an employee that actually wants to work.
I would rather do that though, because I would much rather spend more quality and time on my food than I would on my service. To be honest with you, I would just rather have a good meal at the end of the day.
And some places like that, some of them can be overbearing.
Yeah.
Like you come around every time I take a sip out of my drink and you refill it. Every time I drop something on the table, you come over there and wipe it off.
That's what another thing. Speaking of, me and my girlfriend went on a date yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Cracker Barrel when she got off of work, and the waitress it was so on it. It was actually annoying because every time me and her were in the middle of a sentence or a conversation, she'd decide to walk up and, do you need anything else? And it's interrupting. It's interrupting to me. Actually, we're sitting there trying to have conversations and stuff, and you keep interrupting me, and then we forget what were we talking about? I don't like when I like when they come. Like, say, I like them to be watching from a distance. Hey, when my drink's empty, they come fill it.
Right.
You don't need to come every 2 seconds every time you fast around another table. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I like to make sure that I like for my waitress to make sure that I have my drink every time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have to sit there and talk to you every time they come around.
Yeah.
No, they don't have
Some
to
of
talk
them
to
can be overbearing.
It can be over. Like there have been times that I've been a little agitated, but I didn't say anything because
Right.
it's like they're doing their job.
Yes.
So
They're trying to earn their money.
yeah, it's kind of like that necessary evil
Yes.
thing. If I want my service to be this level, then I got to put up with something. But I mean, I guess I can see it on both sides.
The perfect example I think I could put out there, and we've all joked about this. Sometimes we meet at the Golden Corral out there on Independence, and old girl that wears Levi's, she usually treats us pretty good.
Yeah, she's a good.
But she's also not overbearing.
She's not overbearing.
She watches from a distance and waits till she sees that you need it. Like I like.
Yeah.
Then she comes and handles. A lot of times, what she'll do is I've noticed too. She'll actually wait till we've gotten up to go get our plate, and then she fills it up while we've gotten up and we're gone while we're not there.
She'll take the
Right,
dirty
right.
plate and
Yeah.
fill the glasses, and like Daniel said,
By the time we get back, the glasses are full, and she wasn't there to bother us.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Though, like I like that.
Yes.
Right? That is the ideal.
you feel taken care of.
But at the same time, when I go somewhere else, Smiley's not there.
Yes.
So, and if it is an overbearing lady that's giving me my drinks constantly, then it's just something I deal with.
Yeah.
I just don't like to go somewhere and then I'm just completely forgotten.
Oh,
No.
yes, I've been there too.
You're sitting there sucking, hoping that your ice will move.
Yeah, that one day
Yeah.
at Chili's when you had to get the hell up and take my drink over to the damn bar.
Yeah. Yep.
That kind of thing.
But just getting back to the whole thing of what it costs now versus what it used to cost. Like, these times have forgotten the people that are barely hanging on. Like your people that are retiring now, they think they can go to the grocery store with a $20 bill and they can get what they need for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had a good story for this whole thing. Like now you talk about with older people.
Yeah, but it takes a $100 bill
Mm-hmm.
to go in there and get what used to cost $20.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, a loaf of bread, $5. And that's just a normal loaf of bread. If you get something from like
Dave's Killer Bread.
Yes, that's the one I was going
I
to.
mean-
I'm sorry, I love them and all, I mean,
Mhm.
but still,
I like
Mm-mm.
we got one.
Yeah.
We've got one. Ours is Nature's Own, but we've got one in Gastonia. You can get the ones that are about like less than a week away from expiration,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go in there and you can even buy like the little cakes and stuff, like
Well-
little Twinkies and.
the one in Monroe that I used to go to over off of Skyway.
Yes.
Or not Skyway.
That was Walk Up.
Walk Up. There
Yes.
we go, Walk Up. It wasn't like the old stuff.
Mm-mm.
Like some of it
Yeah.
was brand like the bread,
Yeah.
the bag was foggy from coming out
Mhm.
the oven.
No, yeah, this place like
Yeah.
they're with like a week, within a week of expiration. I mean, it's not like tomorrow.
I always like we went in there with my grandma. That's
Mhm.
where she got our bread, and I was glad to be able to share that
Yes.
joy because it's gone.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that won't never experience that. Like she got to go to Simpson.
Okay.
She got to go to the Marita store with me.
Mhm.
We got bread, and there's a lot of things that I saw as a child.
Prices
Just
chicken
gone.
coop.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone.
So I've experienced it from what Daniel's saying because we didn't buy it for us. We bought it for baked.
Yeah.
We go in there and buy the stuff that had just went out, and you'd get a truckload of stuff. I mean, Twinkies, snowballs, bread, whatever was in there that was going out of date.
Mhm.
And you go out there and you make bait with it to
Mhm.
hunt for hogs.
I can buy donut sticks. We buy the whole box. You can buy a whole box of them over there. The lemon blueberry donut sticks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They give us it's normally like 2 for $1 or something, like 2 for $1.
Yeah.
Like 2 packs, and they're double packs.
That's something else he just brought to mind that I thought about. How many Lance products do you see now versus what they used to be?
No, Lance was everywhere.
Lance was everywhere. I mean,
That
you might
lady
see- you
who
might see
started
Crackers
Lance,
now.
yeah, the lady who started Lance, her house is actually in Clover, South Carolina. The original Lance Corporation.
Mhm.
They just demolished it 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
They're widening their road.
Like I remember those old white trucks with a red and blue stripe on them. You seen them everywhere. And dude, honey buns.
Mhm.
They had their own beef jerky.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Lance trail mix.
I loved all their
Orange
stuff.
crackers.
The
Orange
pickled-
crackers, yeah.
pickled wieners.
Yeah.
That was good, man.
Oh yeah. But I mean, you just don't see stuff like that anymore.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. It's all gone. It's a bygone era.
Yeah.
And back to what you're talking about with the old people and stuff, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is sad because like at the depots of homes yesterday, there's an old man coming there wanting to buy a little battery chainsaw.
Mhm.
Had a set amount that he was planning on spending, thinking I had to sit there and break the news to him that
Hurt his feelings.
that $139 chainsaw doesn't even come with a battery and charger.
Mm-hmm.
And well, how much does the battery and charger cost? Another $200, buddy.
That's
Are you for
messed
real?
up, man.
Now I'm not gonna be able to get my tree cut. I'm bro. And this dude's old,
Yeah.
like Great Depression old.
Yeah.
Now that kind of goes back into, do y'all think that there may be a little bit of buyer's remorse now with our president?
No,
I could see that. I could see that. But I think.
I think, and I'm my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing effects of what the last thing
This is-
happened.
Just my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not backing it up with Google or anything.
Right.
This is what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I see that he is just making things worse,
Yes.
exacerbating. That's what he's doing.
Okay.
Because now we're losing allies,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna be out here on our own.
Right.
Well, businesses are suffering
Yeah.
now too. I mean,
Yeah.
we're seeing it on
Yeah.
my side
Mm-hmm.
because all of our frames come from Europe.
Right.
It's all on back order. It's all on back order.
Mhm.
And it goes back to what y'all were talking about too with the older patients that are on Medicare.
Yes.
Your insurance is only
Mhm.
covering a limited amount.
Yep.
Everything is so expensive. Now we're having to cater from being, super high end. Now we're having to bring frames in that's, a little bit more
Mhm.
budget friendly.
Mm-hmm.
That also isn't,
So,
isn't, yeah, but everything's gone up.
Yeah.
And
I won't-
orders and stuff like that, anything that you're ordering nowadays. I mean, we went to the store
Yeah.
when it first started, like
Yeah.
the entire yogurt,
Yeah.
I was
all
gone.
of it was
It was
Gone.
empty. There was nothing there.
Yeah. I will say that I want to give it time.
Mhm.
And like I was down on politics for a long time just because of the way the last election went. But this one surprised me when the Republican president went in. And I think it's been such a mess for a long time. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say he's some type of savior, because I think it's going to take longer than 4 years to fix the mess that this country's in if they get it accomplished. But it's going to take time, and it's going to take more than one man to get us back to where things level out. Your little man can start to benefit again.
There's a song about that, Alan Jackson wrote.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is and I don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about it, but you're right.
Mhm.
He can't do it all on his own, and there is going to be some growing pains or whatnot, and this and that. But at some point, we have to stop blaming the guy before us.
Yeah.
Right. And I caught myself doing that
Okay.
at work. That when there was a problem that arose, I wanted to blame the guy that was before me.
Mm-hmm.
It was his fault, though.
Well, that's the thing is it's in my lap now,
Right.
right? It's my problem.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that isn't done from this point on is my fault,
Yes, that's true.
right? But it's easy to say, things are going to get better if we do this, or we
Yes.
do this, we do this. But in the meantime, you're demolishing the middle class,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're demolishing it.
Yes.
And you're wreaking havoc on American citizens,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, is there a perfect solution? No, there's not. I'm not saying that there is. But you can't keep adding insult to injury,
Right.
right? You're compounding a problem
Mm-hmm.
on top of a problem. Like, me honest right now, our economy is more important than putting statues back up,
Yes.
right? That, to me, you know what? Let's get the economy rolling,
Right.
and then let's have a conversation about monuments
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Why in the hell do we need Greenland as the 51st state, or Canada as the 51st state? We don't need that. We don't
No.
need it. Stop talking about it. Worry about the economy.
Yeah.
Right? We don't need that. I don't care. I care. But
That can help the
right now,
economy, though. You put more into it.
put monuments back. That
I'm
was
out
not
the
good.
51st state, not no damn monument.
Put monuments back. That ain't gonna help us.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with
It's just heritage.
what is heritage going to get you at this point?
The same
Nothing.
thing it did before they tore them down.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Nothing. Not jack shit. Little bean.
But I get what you're saying. It's like caring about and sweeping around your own doorstep
Yeah.
before you bitch around about the dirt around your neighbors.
Exactly, man. And it goes beyond whether I like or dislike or whoever. Look, I'm not going after the man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everybody that voted for him is a
Wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
I'm
Wrong.
not saying that. But what I am saying is that if there isn't a small amount
Huge.
buyer's remorse in some voters right now, that means that you are drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm there
just
with you.
saying.
I mean, just an example, what Joy was talking about. If all of your organizations that are supplying glasses,
Mhm.
if all of them are struggling because their supplies are coming from
Mhm.
overseas, where are your plants opening up over here to supply glasses?
That's the point.
Yes.
And then you say, okay, no automobile maker
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't make cars in America is going to be able to succeed right now, and I'm going to tax the mess out of it.
Mm-hmm. Because just in my opinion right now, if I went to buy a new car, and Mike Draper, I'm sorry if you ever hear this, I would be going after a Toyota. I would be
Yeah.
going after a Honda.
They're made in America. Not their parts, but they are made in
Their
America.
Japanese origin is what I'm getting.
Yeah,
Their
exactly.
Asian origin, and he's taxing the ever loving shit out of them.
These owners, they don't live in. They may have the companies in America, but the owners they live in Japan,
Yeah.
China, whatever. They live in these other areas, and you are attacking them financially in the wallet.
Mm-hmm.
What they gonna do to you?
Yeah, your American
Asian
automotive
people-
industry.
Asian folks are the world's worst to go after. Look at Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
That happened because the president at that time wanted to charge Japan tariffs
Mm-hmm.
and all this stuff. And then, Japan's like, man, we're gonna have to make a statement here.
Yeah.
And then America said, "We got something for you."
Well, it's pathetic
It's
that it
beyond
has
that
to
now.
come to that.
It's beyond that. Now.
Yeah. It's pathetic that it has to come to that you tax people and you make other people suffer just because you want it your way to the
Mhm.
point of, okay, now we're going to do something stupid
Yep.
and take and sacrifice hundreds of thousands of lives for what? Because you charge me $1 more, $100 more on what I was supplying you?
Mhm.
I've said that for a long time, that anything that happens overseas, keep your damn nose out of it until it crosses the international waterways and it's heading our way with a head full of steam. Then get ready for it.
Yeah.
But if they're fighting amongst themselves over there, and they want to wipe one another across the planet,
Yeah.
let them.
Yeah.
And that may be wrong of me to say,
Be one less person to deal with in the future.
but if a third world country goes to war with another country over there, there's no difference if New York wanted to have a knockdown drag out with Texas.
Yep.
What they don't see is Alabama, Louisiana, Tennessee, Virginia, all those in between
Had to suffer.
are going to suffer. But if you create it on your own soil, be ready to, one, find a resolution, and two, the aftermath that's going to be there, be ready to clean it up.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing is during the 50s,
Mm-hmm.
the soldiers were made completely different than
Oh, absolutely.
they were grainy, salty men.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have kids that are coming out of gaming and all this stuff going in the military.
Oh, yeah.
You drop them off over there in Japan to go to war,
Mm-hmm.
buddy, we're screwed.
Oh, yeah. They're
If it
going
ain't for the Air Force or the Navy, we our ground forces, I support them. I do. But they're the people that are going to be worth the damn are going to be the ones out front, and then they're going to have to support all these other. There's gangs in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
What sense does that make?
so like it goes back to this, Dustin. We need to start sweeping our own front porch.
Yep.
Before we start worried about.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the thing is I do agree that there needs to be some kind of change,
Mm-hmm.
but you kind of mentioned it. It needs to go in layers.
Yes.
You can't just say, you know what, with a stroke of a pen, I'm going to make everything better.
And why is it? But how can I make it better? Because I signed my name to it, and I'm the one that y'all elected to be the final say so.
So and then yeah.
So yeah, buyer's
puppet.
remorse.
Still puppet.
Buyer's remorse.
What happens when the presidente turns into a dictator?
Mm-hmm.
When do we cross that line? And I give that to everybody.
I think that was done decades ago.
It's rhetorical.
Yeah.
It's rhetorical. I give everybody that train of thought. This week, think about it when you're at work, when you're at home, with your family,
Mm-hmm.
this and that. While we're all out here fighting with each other, right? We're fighting with each other about race. We're fighting with each other about social and economic statuses.
Mm-hmm.
We're fighting with each other about who has what car, who's right about this and who's right about that. We have been slipping ever so slightly
Mm-hmm.
into communism.
Yes.
And it will not be long for somebody sitting up there on the throne says, "Well, I want everybody in the house at 10 o'clock at night."
Mm-hmm. It was talked a couple years ago, and by a couple years, I mean 8, 10, 12 years ago. Everybody was in fear of martial law.
Yep.
Now you think back for those that can when 9/11 happened.
Yep.
Tragedy. Everybody come together.
Yep.
Well, spin it. If it wouldn't have been an attack, and the opinions are out there whether it was planned by others or planned by here, conspiracy say, whatever, but spin that. It wasn't a terrorist attack. It was
Domestic.
not even attack. No nothing. No lives lost, no nothing like that. When the headlines come on, it was the president saying, okay, I'm in office, and y'all get ready for me to stay here until somebody else takes me out. Because I don't know the full definition of martial law, but I do know enough to say that when it's declared, it's until that person says, okay, it comes to an end here.
All voting stops.
Yes.
All elections.
Except
stop.
there is a loophole.
What's the loophole, Daniel?
The military.
Well, no.
They have their own oath to.
Yeah.
It says
foreign and domestic.
they will protect them. They will protect
But-
the country against foreign and domestic threats, including that
He's right.
of the president.
It does say that. But at that time, general law enforcement is shut down.
Yes.
The police now are military.
Yes.
Yep. And I saw some of that when we were in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with y'all. It made me I don't want to say I'm not the kind that gets scared.
Right.
It put me on alert.
Yeah.
Like my hair stood up on the back of my neck where I turned a corner and every corner was a soldier instead of a police officer carrying an AR-15
Yes.
at the ready. I don't know if I want to live like that.
It's something to think about.
And then, I don't want anybody else to live like that. I don't want, I don't want people to live with that, and then it just becomes the Hunger Game.
Oh, yeah. Because when that happens, the people, because it's an opinion then.
Yep.
Daniel, you mentioned that oath that they took either foreign or domestic. But if you are a strong supporter of this title and you're supporting everything that this man says that he just declared martial law, when he declares martial law, if you are a 100% supporter of that man, in your opinion, he's doing nothing wrong.
Yeah,
So
but that's not everybody.
Hold on a minute. He's doing nothing wrong in your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But your partner, whom you see eye to eye with, y'all talk every day, you pick, you cut up, he's your buddy. Well, he really don't agree with that. Well, now, because you're a 100% supporter of that man who just declared that martial law, your partner sees him as, well, I don't really agree with that. Well, guess what? Your lawman just become the outlaw. From your leader, he says, your partner's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Life or death. You're either with me or you're against me. If you won't make them go in the house, I'll find somebody that will. If you're not going to make them go in the house, I'm going to make you go in the house.
I say good luck. Because I would turn that AR or whatever I had the other direction.
Now, ask the American Indian how they wound up on that one. Lay down your weapons and we'll help you.
Yeah.
That's just my own opinion. How far are you willing to go just because another man told you, hey, this is what you're now required
My brother
to do?
beside me is gonna be more important than somebody I've never met.
That's a good concept.
Yeah, that's a good concept. But how far are you willing to push that just because a man who has a title higher than you says so?
Also, my oath, I would take that very seriously because I swore on the Bible for that. That was me.
That's fine. But how far are you willing to push that oath? Because that's no longer a domestic threat because you're supporting that man.
I
He's-
wouldn't be supporting him at that point if he did that.
I seen it was in a movie a long
Yeah.
time ago. It made perfect sense when the person
Olympus
said
is falling.
Huh?
Olympus is falling.
No, not that.
That's one of those.
But yeah, but it is one of those. But the guy turned around and looked at him and said, "Sometimes doing the right thing is not doing the right thing."
Yes.
So if your leader's telling you these people have to be inside by X, Y, Z, and you don't do it, that's the right thing to do is not to listen to that leader.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to do the wrong thing to do the right
Mm-hmm.
thing. But, yeah. I don't know where it's going, and I don't pretend to know. And as y'all both know, I'm what they call a sit on the fence kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no qualms with that.
Right.
Like I don't complain, but I just throw my hands up, like what the world,
Mhm.
And to be honest with you, when he first 30 days, I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. Sitting by the fence, I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
Ain't looking too bad from this side.
No, I'm sitting at the fence and I'm wanting to throw rocks at it.
Mhm.
Like, oh, whoa. Like on my phone just a second ago, he had somebody thrown out of an event because they had an anti-Trump hat on.
Right.
Like, the fuck? Yeah, come on, man.
Mhm.
What you're saying that nobody can say something against you?
Right. Right.
If
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If you're sitting in my house and you're saying "fuck me," I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
It's a
It wasn't his
baseball
house. It's a baseball game.
wasn't even his game.
Yeah.
He had
But if it's his event,
Doesn't
It's
matter.
not his event.
if it's my house, if I'm having my event, I don't care if I'm having it out there in the middle of the street. If it's my event and you
Yeah.
say "fuck me," I'm gonna say, "Go ahead and get on out."
When did the baseball game become his game? It's not his game.
It's America's game.
But America also has a Bill of Rights.
Mm.
The
Freedom
First
of
Amendment saying I can say what the hell I want to because I have a freedom to do so.
Yeah. And just because you're popular amongst
Mhm.
conservatives doesn't mean that you get the right to say, I can't say what I want to say to me.
Right.
It does not.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that. But anyway,
Will it be fixed?
it'll
We can't tell.
take
That's
longer.
not. That's beyond my pay grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, mine too.
I've really stopped looking into anything. I'll be
Are
honest with
there-
you. I just live my day to day.
Are there brighter days ahead? We'd like to think so.
I think there will be.
Only somebody else would know that.
But
It ain't
I
nothing
think
ain't
it's
me.
going to take
I think there'll be brighter days. It'll just take some.
in my personal opinion, and I hate to put it this way, I don't know if revolutionary would be the correct term, but it's going to take a statement from that middle class that you say that it's devastating to. It's going to have to be that modern man militia that says, okay, we've had enough.
That's what I'm talking.
That not those crazy backwoods guys that
No.
just saying I don't like you and you got to go.
Mhm.
It's I don't like what you're doing because my family's suffering.
Yeah, and my neighbor's family.
Yeah.
So.
There was
My
a quote that
neighbors-
George Washington said that works. That kind of goes with that
and
too.
that's kind of the ones I'm pointing towards. Washington did it for a purpose.
That is
But-
my party there.
Yeah.
But what he said was, he said, what the one thing that sets an American man apart from any other man in the world is that he will die on his feet before he'll ever live on his knees.
Yes.
He also said mankind's greatest threat is government.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why he stepped down eventually from presidency because he didn't believe in the way it was direction it was going.
He didn't even want to be president.
Mm-mm.
No, but I'm saying he eventually stepped down. He could have stayed forever. It was unlimited terms. He stepped down because he didn't want to be a part of that anymore.
Yeah. So, man, I don't know. You know, there's a lot of hurting people out here,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, physically too.
yeah,
Everything hurts.
Yeah.
What times, in your opinion, right now are we in? And what I'm talking about is the old adage, and I may not have it 100% correct, but I've heard that hard men make soft times or weak times. Weak times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. Hard times make hard men. It's just a revolving circle.
Yes, sir. History repeats itself.
Yes. Are we in that time period of now
I think we're
that
in the
weak
hard-
men are making hard times?
I think we're coming out of that.
We're climbing out of that.
I think you're going to see a turn where hard men are going to have to come up out of the woodwork,
Yes.
all right, and say, "All right, guys, this is enough.
Sit down.
Yep, that's enough. Y'all need to sit down, shut up, quit ruining my life."
Yes. We'll take it from here.
Because I've seen it. I'm seeing some, and there were some people. These are hardcore vets
Mm-hmm.
that fought for our country. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't care what nobody says. Anybody that fought for this country, I think they should have a voice
Oh, absolutely.
before anybody,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this guy this happened in our state.
Mm-hmm.
He's voicing his opinion to a Republican government person. I ain't gonna
Right.
say what branch they're from, and they had him removed.
Mm-hmm.
And he told them as he was getting pulled out of there, "Y'all don't care about us."
Right.
then
And
there
it's
was
true they don't.
And there was another guy, there was another veteran that was in Washington and standing out there on Capitol Hill, and he was like, "These people don't die. You know, they're old. They're in here way too long. We need to get rid of some of these people because it's the same shit, just a different day."
Yep.
That's exactly what it is. It's the same shit, different day,
Mhm.
and a different poster.
Yes.
You know, and
As I like to say, same shit, same pile.
yep, we're putting lipstick on the pig.
Yes.
And I think it's about time to make some bacon.
The one thing that I will say that come out of the whole Trump, I think it was started, was the whole drain the swamp thing. Yeah. I think that it has become a swamp. It's stagnant. There's nothing moving. And just like you said, these people who have been in there for the longest time, I'm sorry. Y'all
They
need to go sit down.
There's a retirement age for the general public for a reason.
Yes.
And it needs to also
Your
go-
sharpness starts going away after 65.
Well, you know, and I've seen, you know, and I'm not
Looney
kidding,
bin.
I don't want to hit on him too, you know,
Mhm.
I pick on him a lot, but our current POTUS, he's showing some of that. He's getting a little too old.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I think, I mean, you got to think about this too. As much as he's attacked,
Mm-hmm.
you know, these lawsuits and, you know, felonies and this and that good.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, that stuff's going to wear in on somebody's psyche.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I think there's some stuff that needs to change. Like,
Yes.
if you're going to legally carry a felony, then I think felons ought to be able to vote. Yeah.
I do think that those who come out of prison or have been sentenced as a felon, my opinion is, if you come out, you've done your time, you've paid for your crimes.
Paid your debt to society.
Yes. If you are willing to be an upstanding citizen that goes back to work, that wants something out of his life, then your record should be clean.
Yep. My mama came out of prison in 75
Mm-hmm.
and was not able to vote
Yes.
until she died.
Mm-hmm.
Not able to vote. Will never participate
Right.
because the law of the land says she did something that was so bad. That
Oh, yeah.
that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
But now we have a president.
Oh, absolutely.
Technically got a bill.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Y'all think what you want to
I
about
got a
it.
felony in one state, not a federal felony.
Felony's felony, but
Felony's felony. Just like a sin's a sin, baby.
my mom's felony was in the state of North Carolina, and she couldn't vote for the rest of her life,
No matter where you go.
no matter where she went. She couldn't vote in California. She couldn't vote in Virginia. She couldn't vote in Chicago, and
I know cases right now that are so wrapped up in the system that if you are moving and you just want to get ahead of the ball game, just say you've got to be out by tomorrow. If you wanted to get ahead of the ball game and change your address during the middle of the week before you had to be out, that way when you got done moving on Sunday, you didn't have to worry about going to do it Monday morning. You could just go back to work. If your PO comes looking for you and you haven't quite moved all your stuff yet, like your bed's the last thing you're going to move, but you've already changed your address, they can go to your new address, and if they don't find you, when they come to your old address and find you working on moving to where you're going to be living, they can put you in handcuffs and take you to jail.
Yep. Ain't that some crap, man?
Why? You're not doing nothing wrong.
You're actually trying to get away.
Yeah, you're just trying to better yourself.
Sometimes you're trying to get away to better. You get yourself out of that environment to
Yeah.
better yourself.
But
to
I mean,
change.
it is a broken system that
It's flawed.
the middleman one day may have to stand up and say, okay, this is our idea, and we're going to push our ideas just like the big man on top has pushed his, and he's pushed long enough.
When all is gone, the poor shall eat the rich.
The meek shall inherit the earth.
Think that.
Yes. Yes.
What's
Well,
wrong?
No, it's just fun. I like hearing that back and forth. It makes me laugh.
It's just two different
I know.
opinions saying the
That's
same
what-
thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why
Yeah. What does your generation say?
my generation is live and let live. They don't give a fuck. We're just here.
I don't know about that.
He's a part of that woke generation.
Yeah.
We're just here.
Don't live
Yeah.
and let live.
We just here.
You said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You're fired.
I don't know where to go pee.
That's the city version of my generation.
Oh, but
Yeah,
y'all.
you gotta remember the country part of the generation. They're out there. They were raised a couple of generations behind, kind of like a third world country in a way. Not,
Did he just say that country people are slaves?
I didn't mean poor. Well,
Well, y'all, until next time on the Tombo King, y'all keep me hot. Y'all stupid.
I mean, we do talk a little slower,
Oh, but
and things do change a little slower in our area of the neck of the woods.
I don't think so.
These nuts flowing.
Shut up, dumbass.
Royal fans.
Shut the hell up, Curtis. Shut the hell up. Damn. Damn. Shut up. What the hell? I'm gonna shut that damn ball in your damn throat.
Oh shit! I heard that.
It's so hot. Awful. Y'all keep it hot.